Okay guys, pay attention please. Are we ready?
Yes.
We're doing couscous. This is part of our salad thing, and it also goes in with our knife skills, and it also goes in with our vegetable cuts. Okay? So, we're using couscous. Does everyone know what couscous is?
It's like a rice kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a flour, it's a durum flour that's been rolled and dried, okay? How to cook this is where you've got to listen, because a lot of people don't actually know how to do this. You need 3/4 of a cup of couscous, yeah? You need the same amount of water. So 3/4 of a cup. You're going to put it into a pot. I would make a note of that because it doesn't actually say anything about water in your recipe, okay? In the pot, you're going to put a pinch of salt, and you're going to put a tiny bit of olive oil. Like that much, alright? So, we've got the same amount of water, we've got some salt and a little bit of oil. We're going to put a lid on it, we're going to fire it up. When that comes to the boil, this is important, this bit being, when it comes to the boil, you're going to put your couscous in, you're going to give it a little slush, you're going to pull it aside, alright? So you don't actually boil it, you don't do anything like that, you just pull it aside. The other pot I've got here has got salted boiling water in because we've got peas and sweet corn. I'm going to bang those in now. Okay, so we're going to cook those lightly, and then we're going to refresh them. Remember what refreshing is? Yeah, to cool it, to stop the cooking by flushing with cold water. So, the rest of the ingredients is very simple. You're going to make a simple vinaigrette. Garlic, mustard, mixed herbs, oil, vinegar. We'll do that afterwards. We've got sultanas. We don't need to do anything with those. They're good as they are. We've got walnuts. If they're really big pieces, just snap them up a little bit so they're a bit smaller. What kind of herb is that?
Parsley.
Parsley it is. We're going to chop parsley through it. Celery, we're going to dice. Capsicum, we're going to dice. And red onion, we're going to dice. We want them all the same size, okay? So what I'm going to do, just going to trim this up, put my waste in there. So when you're cutting these, first of all you're going to cut them into strips, which we call batons, like that, okay? So that's actually a vegetable cut in itself. Push them together, and then you're going to do even-sized dice. So they're all the same size. What we're after is the same size as like peas, or the sweet corn, so when we've got our salad mixed up, it all looks the same. Once you've cut them, you can put them in a bowl. Capsicum, pull off just the root bit, take the white pith off, and tap it for the seeds. Easiest way to do your capsicum is to cut the ends off, like that. Take that out. And then you're going to cut them the same size, okay? Turn them over. Chop them up. They can go in your bowl. Corner a little bit. These end bits you don't throw away. You just have to cut them in different fashions to make sure they're the same size. Like that. Onion, obviously take the tip off. Take the rough skin off the outside. You can leave the root on like we normally do when we dice things so it stays hold together. And then you're going to, rather than going real small, you're going to cut them the same size. One slice across. To the end. Chop, chop. Now with your onion, before you put it in here, you need to break it up a little bit because you don't want chunks of onion. So long as you're breaking those layers up, you're good. Good to go. Put your nuts, put your sultanas in there. Right, this has come to the boil. Couscous goes in. I wriggle it around, you can see that in the mirror. Put the lid on it, take it to the side. That's all you do with your couscous. That's it for now. Right. Chop your herbs, remember how to chop your herbs, take the stalks off. Now you're still got to do 2 portions, but you can do 2 portions for buffet style if you like, so you can just put it on one plate, as long as there's enough for 2 people. Chop, chop, chop. That can go into the bowl as well. Done. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So, that's basically your basics of your salad. What you're going to do is with your couscous, once it's cooked, we're going to fluff it up. If it's hot, we're going to lay it out on a plate or a tray to cool down really quickly. This is cold, alright? Raw and cold. Couscous goes in there. Once your peas are cooked, they're going to go in there as well. How do we know if these are cooked? Yeah.
They should be soft.
Yeah. You want them soft, but you want them firm as well. So, how am I going to cool that down by refreshing, okay? I'm going to drain the water out of them. Move through there. I'm going to turn my cold tap on. But I don't want it going mad yet. And I can adjust it. You should be able to put this and have it running without losing any of your sweet corn. So if you have a look at that, you can see that it's just rotating, so that's cooling down, yeah? Alright with that? Huh? Can you see it? Looks cool, though. Right, so that's cooling down. Next thing we need to do is our dressing. So, bowl, whisk. You're going to put, now there's no measurements on this part of your recipe, okay? This is half a tea, I put like 1/4 teaspoon, so that's half a half, obviously. Mustard. I put about the same dried mixed herbs. Put that in. Good pinch of salt. Black pepper. For the garlic, I'd put a similar amount in as well. There it goes. Vinegar is your base. You can put, if you like, 1 tablespoon of vinegar. So you need to write down 1 tablespoon because that bit isn't on your list. Alright? Next thing we've got is our oil. First of all, we whisk that up. We combine it.
What was that other food mixed with mustard gas?
Mixed herbs. So for your oil, you want to put in 3 tablespoons. Because you always have the same ratio, 1 part vinegar to 3 parts oil. So whether you're doing it in buckets or if you're doing it in small amounts, you still have the same ratio. I'm just putting in a measure. With your oil, you're going to whisk this and you're just going to add a little bit at a time and whisk it together so it emulsifies. Did we do the vinaigrette recipe in our book already? Or was that the other group? Did we do that? The recipe for vinaigrette and mayonnaise.
I know it's done.
We wrote that out.
Yeah, we've done that.
So this is what we're doing. This is the vinaigrette. This is the second recipe we talked about. So add it slowly and it will emulsify, which means you're combining 2 ingredients which don't normally combine. You making notes, Ben? Because you won't remember all of this. That's why you write your paper. Okay, there's your dressing. Next thing, I'm just going to drain my paste. My sweet corn. These are going to go in with your veggies as well. With your couscous, take the lid off, get a fork, fluff it up. Okay, you need to break that puppy up so it's all nice and fluffy. So that's all the cooking it takes. It doesn't need boiling, it doesn't need purely the heat from the boiled water will cook it, and there's nothing to drain off, it absorbs it all, so it's an absorption method. Who's had couscous before? Only one of you? Do you think couscous is gluten free?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
More than gluten.
Because it looks like it.
It looks plain and tasteless.
Looks tasteless. Yeah.
Is it made out of durum wheat?
No. It looks useless, so it's really not good.
Right. Ooh, putting it in hot. We should have cooled that down. Put it in. How could we have cooled the couscous down quickly?
Put the pot in cold water.
Huh?
Put cold water in it.
Put the pot in cold water.
Put it in cold water. If it's an absorption method, if we put cold water into it, what would happen to it?
It would absorb it.
It'd absorb the water, yeah. So, easiest way to cool it down, would you stick it in the fridge?
Yeah.
Or what would happen to the temperature of the fridge?
It would heat up.
Oh, it would heat up. So, how you'd cool it down is you'd stick it on a tray, or you'd put it on a plate, something like that, where it's real thin, so it cools down real quick. Now, putting it in a glass bowl with cold veggies is actually cooling it down really quickly as well. We should have cooled it down before we put it in. Right, so there's your couscous salad, yeah? Your dressing. You're going to put your dressing in. You're going to give it a fold around. What point will I taste this?
Now.
Yeah, taste it now. So you're going to taste it. You're going to see if there's any seasoning needed. Yeah, a little bit more. You should have a little bit of sharpness from the vinegar, from the dressing, but not too much, alright? So, done. We're just going to present it on one plate. We're going to call it buffet style. Remember, it still needs to look attractive. What do you think I could change in here to enhance the colours?
The vegetable.
Yeah, garnish. What would I garnish it with? Put a bit more herbs on it. What about the colour of the capsicum? What if I change the colour of that?
Make it green.
So if we had red capsicum, that would lift the colour up a lot more as well, wouldn't it? So that's basically what you've got to do. Now, that is a couscous salad, which you can pretty much serve with anything. Easy.